Hey, I'm Sean with Profound Technologies. I'm the media developer here. I'm here with John Perry. He's a sales engineer here. We're here for a pro view review of the Logitech Rally Plus. Hey, John.
Hey, thanks for having me, Sean.
Sure. How's it going?
It's going great.
So yeah, John, tell me a little bit about what we're dealing with here.
Be glad to, Sean. So the Rally Plus excels in those medium to larger spaces where that all-in-one form factor just isn't adequate to cover the room, especially from an audio standpoint. So instead of having your soundbar, your microphones, your camera all built into that one video bar, you've got two separate speaker bars. Looks especially nice if you've got two displays in that sort of bigger conference room environment. You've got a camera, so you have some flexibility on positioning. Maybe you want to go a little higher to avoid people in the front blocking the shot. Maybe you'd rather it be in between those two displays, as we have it set up in our XPC, so you don't have to choose above or below the display. You can go in between two of them. We've got the display hub and the table hub giving you a lot of flexibility with placement, how you wire everything together. You're actually getting two microphones in the box as well. So for those larger spaces that are more challenging to cover, right in the box you've got those two microphones. They can be placed on the ceiling or on the table, and then you have the ability to expand that out to additional microphones. And then finally, for Microsoft Teams, you've got this remote for your camera control and Zoom. Some of that's available on the touchscreen, but Microsoft Teams, that's how you're operating the camera. So again, by breaking it into these discrete components, the Rally Plus is better able to cover that larger conference room environment. Some of the same concepts and ideas as the other Logitech systems, just with a lot more flexibility.
We sell a lot of Logitech products here. I mean, obviously Logitech is well known for their quality. You deal with customers all the time. What do they say about the quality of the Rally Bar Plus?
Overall, we get very positive feedback on the build quality. It's a really nice look and finish. Feels sturdy, and then in terms of connectivity and features, it's really delivering as far as the price point it's at for the quality that you're getting.
And what is the price point for this setup?
So MSRP on the Rally Plus by itself was $25.99, and you might think, well, wait, that's actually less than a Rally Bar. It is, because there's no compute device included with this package. So that might be like a Chromebox if you're a Google Meet customer. It's probably a Windows-based PC if you're a Microsoft Teams customer. There's a Logitech Roommate as well. That's a pretty logical companion to a system like this that would work with Teams or Zoom as well. So if you added that Roommate in and made this a complete system, right, you'd be at $3,600.
Okay.
Give you an idea.
So it does need a compute device along with the system we see here.
Correct. This is sort of the ultimate medium to large room package where you're building your own system out. They're not going to dictate this is the right compute device. It depends on what you're trying to do. So again, that's part of the reason for the lower price point, but again, it speaks to the flexibility of this solution. You're going to pair it with the compute device that makes the most sense for you.
Makes sense. I'm assuming in a smaller room setup, you would go with something like not the Rally Plus, but the Rally Bar.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid, Sean. If you have a smaller room setup, you're looking at two of these speaker bars, each with a cable, two mic pods, each with a cable, a table hub and a display hub. They need to be wired to each other. Cable for the Rally camera. There's probably 3 or 4 power cords plus another 5 or so cables in that package. And you can imagine that wiring all this together is going to be a little bit more complex. Some of our expertise would come in when you get to these systems that involve more wiring or discrete components, where you're looking for that clean look. That's where, as an integrator, Profound Technologies is going to make sure we can see all these cables appropriately, make sure that they're up to the right standards, make sure we have the right access in the room to get the client to the finished look that they're after. But again, they're not seeing that half a dozen cables that are in the box there.
Right.
They're there. I mean, it's a wired world, right? But an expert installation from a company like Profound is going to make sure that you don't have to see any of that sort of infrastructure that's delivering an experience like this. For a much smaller conference room, though, going back to that concept I mentioned earlier, where you have everything built into that one video bar, is going to save you a lot of work on the installation side. And in an environment like that, you don't necessarily need to break out to these individual components to cover that kind of room. So in that kind of situation, you're saving yourself time or money on the installation end with the video bar form factor.
Okay, great. We talked a little bit about the build quality of Logitech. Tell me a little bit more about the actual camera quality.
So it's a pan tilt zoom camera. Because it's not integrated into a video bar, you have flexibility with placement. You can place it above or below the display, independent of where you choose to place the speakers and microphones. It's got a remote, which is the way you're going to interact with it on a Microsoft Teams room. Zoom rooms, you also have the option to use a touch panel to control it, and it's also going to have optical zoom, which is huge. So a lot of more affordable video bar products are going to use a digital zoom, where you're essentially taking a 4K image or a high resolution image and cropping that down to create the impression of a zoom. The Rally camera will actually do a 5x optical zoom using the lens. So you're actually capturing that larger image in higher resolution instead of taking a high resolution and then relying on a smaller section. Especially on those more entry-level products, that tends to result in something that looks a little pixelated or not as crisp as it should.
Right. I'm sure anybody that's dealing with video knows the video quality can be a little I mean, even though you said this is a good quality camera, but if the audio is not good, nobody wants to be involved with that meeting or listen to it if it's the audio is bad. So how's the audio on the Rally Plus?
It's going to be a huge step up from that sort of video bar concept. So you've got 2 microphone pods. It's going to allow you flexibility with placement. One of the sort of inherent weaknesses with the video bar form factor is the microphone is there at the front of the room, but a lot of times the most important person in the meeting is going to be sitting at the head of the table furthest away. And even if you can hear them, they tend not to sound as good as someone who's a lot closer to that video bar.
Sure.
So when you've got multiple microphones placed at the table and you have that flexibility, you're able to close that gap and make sure you're picking up everyone at the table. And then on the software side, Logitech is using algorithms to determine which microphone is getting the best feed, which microphone is closest to the person speaking. And that way you get one clear feed. You don't get any kind of duplication or conflicts there. And again, making sure you're capturing everything as evenly as you can rather than relying on that just one point at the front of the room.
Sure. So we have some stuff on the table here. Like you said, there's 2 of these sound bars, 2 speakers. What all comes in the box when you purchase this product?
Yeah, so you're sitting over there on the display side, right? You're going to have 2 of these Rally speakers. If you have multiple displays, you can put one under each display. You've got the cabling to connect it to our display hub. Right, so here we're going to connect to our displays. You've got ports for each of the speaker bars. You're going to plug your Rally cam in via USB to the display hub. So that's all happening at the displays. And you've got a single Ethernet going from our display hub to our table hub. Table hub is where we're going to connect our mic pods. Typically, you have the option to connect the compute device at the table hub if you want to. But you get 2 microphone pods.
So it comes with 2, but it is customizable up to 7 mics.
Correct.
Nice.
Also at the table, you have your remote. So some important stuff that you don't see on the table that you may want to consider would be mounting hardware for all of this gear. So there's a mounting kit for the Rally camera and 2 speaker bars. There's also no compute device and no touchscreen controller. So again, the beauty of this system is Logitech is suggesting you pick the compute device that's right for your organization and right for the room. So you have sort of flexibility there. They don't pack one in with it. Same thing for the controller. You could do a tap controller that would connect to your compute device, would have an HDMI sharing option, or you could do a tap IP that connects directly to your network, whichever complements your room better.
And we have some of those controllers here that we install all the time, right?
Yeah, that's a really common deployment with any Zoom room or Microsoft Teams room, just for ease of use, the ability to walk into the room and start the meeting without having to plug anything else in or bring a computer into the room with you.
Sure.
So we're here in our Profound Technologies Experience Center, Chester Springs, PA, and I'm in front of our Rally Plus system. So as you saw with our overview, we've got 2 speaker bars. We've positioned one of them underneath each display we've got our Rally camera mounted in between the displays. And then this panel underneath, we've got the table hub and display hub that you saw, as well as the compute device. And that's where, again, you're gonna have the complexity, some of those connections going on behind the scenes. We've got a couple cables going underneath a floor track over to the conference table. And there you'd have your 2 microphones on the table, as well as your controller for the room, which should be sold separately from that Rally Plus. So over here on the left, we've got our existing scheduled meetings for One Touch Join. Now we've got a video call going. Hi, Sean, how you doing?
Good, John. How about you?
Doing wonderful. Here on the near end, right, I'm being picked up by the microphone right in front of me at the table. I'm hearing Sean through the 2 speakers underneath each of my displays, and the Rally cam is capturing the image of me. Sean on the other side is on his laptop.
Great. Well, thanks, John. This has been fun.
It's been my pleasure.
That wraps it up for today. If you want to learn more, you can go to our website. We also have a full written review on the Logitech Rally Plus at our website. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on ProView.